he was like crying, and he was like, visibly affected by not winning. He had written apparently a acceptance speech 2 years prior to this date. I'm like, nah, now you're getting into weird territory. It's like, yeah, look, the gaming community supports you. Big majority of us think that you should have won, but that kind of behavior, it's hard to get behind. It's like, bro, what's this? Just say, be gracious about it and say, hey, my team, we did wonderful. It's a great game that won, but I also feel my game was like, one of the best ones. So, that's how to handle it, not...
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it's amazing to have someone who is so passionate at the helm. At the second hand, you need to have someone to be pulling you back and go, yo, this is a terrible PR thing.
Yeah.
You need to calm down a little bit.
For sure. It would have been an amazing story, like this first-time Chinese developer trying to break into the mainstream of Americanized and European, or I should say Western gaming, celebrations. That would have been fucking awesome for their first game. Yeah. But hell, it's their fucking first game. So I'd imagine much more to come from Game Science and other Chinese developers, and they will eventually break in. Ain't gonna be next year though. Everybody already knows what's gonna win next year. We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah. Best fighting game, Tekken 1. It was a soft year in fighting games, like multiverses. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, fun game, not a fighting game. It's like it's wrong category.
Anime arena brawler battler,
definitely. And there's no place for it, so I understand why they put it in there. But it's really not really a fighting game. AR VR game, Batman. Once again, takes over. No Superman game.
Didn't play the Batman VR. Heard it was good. I have played Azura's Wrath, which is one of the best VR games. It was a platform seller for some of the VR. So those two I thought were going to compete, and Batman won out.
A bunch of esports categories that they rapid fired off, and then no one knew what happened. Faker won. It's the only name on the list I knew. I used to play League of Legends, and I used to watch a lot. Now I don't know. I'm old. I'm too old for that stuff. Accessibility.
Who does he play?
Oh, he plays mid.
The only,
so for League of Legends. So
the only one we assumed Velgard would have.
Yeah, so the only thing.
Holy
Velgard
shit, that was a big story. Yeah, we were like, there's going to be a sympathy award for Velgard. They have to do it, and they only got nominated for one, and they lost out.
Yeah.
So no awards whatsoever for the Dragon Age Veilguard.
Now, they could just do what Ubisoft does, who actually won the award, because Ubisoft won it for Prince of Persia, and just release Dragon Age Veilguard Game of the Year edition. Ubisoft has done that with their games. Yeah, it's like, you've never won Game of the Year. It's like, no, this is the Game of the Year edition. It's like, you weren't even nominated, bro.
That's Game of the Year.
They were nominated, but they still put the tag on there. It's like, what are you doing? So
they believe in themselves. Like, they're winners. They're champs in their own mind.
Going back to Game Science don't do that. Don't do the, you can do like fan game of the year, player's choice game of the year, but don't be like Ubisoft. You guys are too good. That's beneath you. Melina Juergens won for Hellblade 2.
Voice actress?
Yeah. Luke Roberts did an amazing job in Silent Hill 2 as well. Was kind of, but she also did great. Best action game, Black Myth Wukong. So also won that. Helldivers 2 won multiplayer game of the year. Art direction, Metaphor, ReFantazio. Game direction was Astrobot. Action adventure game, Astrobot. Best RPG was
Sweep,
Metaphor, ReFantazio. And so I think those were all of the big ones. Helldivers 2 won ongoing game over Destiny. I don't know how anyone, like, you should not have been surprised by any of that stuff. Best indie was Balatro, and best debut indie, Balatro. Best mobile game, Balatro. Or I think people are saying Balatro. I don't know.
Balatro.
Whatever.
Balatro.
It's,
you know what game we're talking about.
Whatever. And then ReFantazio won for best narrative. So, you mentioned before that we were talking about Larian, what's going to be game of the year, and so when Sven got up on stage, he had some things to say about the industry, and I think they're wonderful things to say. Where he's talking,
I think the motherfucker called out everybody in the fucking industry.
He was pointing fingers without actually pointing his fingers.
Yeah,
talking about how. I mean, it's layoffs, it's grinding through your QA people, it's overworking your people, firing them the second that you release, making games not it's not art for art's sake, and then you try to make money off it. You're trying to make money first, and then the art comes second or third. And so he had this amazing speech. And then kind of off the cuff, I just think when we watched it, I was like, unfortunately, I just think he's wrong. And I think
wrong. I think he's right. Everything he said was right.
Except for he said that this year and next year, and he's like, these are the games that are going to win the game of the year.
The assertion that the formula is simple. Hold on. The assertion that every single one of the games that will be nominated or that will win in the future follow this criteria, yes. But I agree with you that he's wrong there. I think he's right in that that's the ingredients in this formula that should win. But yeah, I guess that's the disconnect there, because if you actually go through the list of games that are won and that are about to win,
going to win probably next year.
They're going to violate pretty much every single one of the things that he said.
Yeah, especially, I mean, we're talking specifically about GTA, which comes out next year. It won the award for most anticipated game. It's probably going to be one of the largest games of the decade.
Yeah.
It may change how much video games cost. Like, it truly may come out as a $90, $100 standard-based game.
Yeah.
We have no idea what it's going to do, unless they have said it and I forgot. But that game is probably a shoo-in, and that game is grinding through its people right now as we speak. People aren't seeing their families because of this game. So
then after that, like, okay, we're done.
And you know
Hopefully
it's a corporate
not,
product, and you know that there's
a casino inside of it.
Casinos, and the objective is to make as much money through microtransactions as possible and build a system around it. The main storyline might be protected because they want to make sure that it's a damn good game, so it continues to drive sales, and there's no controversy. It's like, wow, this is just a shell.
But they need that longevity, so the casinos and everything, all that fun stuff.
You mean that? So what he said specifically is the people in charge forbade them from cramming the game with anything whose only purpose was to increase revenue and didn't serve the game design. It's like that is directly opposed to what could possibly happen next year. And you know what? Deep down, I do hope he's right. I hope that some game comes out of nowhere and it's just so amazing that it dethrones GTA.
Here's the thing is, I think he knows that. And I think it was done on purpose. And I think it's more like a little poke and a prod to the rest of the industry to be like, yeah, you may not be meeting these now. I'm going to say you're meeting these so that everybody right now comes together and tries to meet these. So that's our boy over there. He's saying the right things. That is why I started the Angry Joe Show. All of those fucking ideals is how we get back to good gaming. Now, whether a lot of these companies are going to listen or have it affect them, I don't know. I think a lot of game developers on the front lines are like, yeah, let's do it. But then the management above them, and especially the CEOs above them,
investors
are just rolling their eyes,
Like, how much money can we make?
Yeah.
More.
I mean, you
every year more.
I mean, I guarantee there's investors came to Larry and like, hey, man, totally fund your next game. And they're like, okay, cool. Well, we get to do everything that we want to do, and you can say nothing. And sometimes that works out because some game companies do have that kind of relationship that they say. Grinding Gear Games is one of them where they're like, hey, we're owned by Tencent, but we've told them that they get to make no decisions. And you just got to hope that works out that way. So I hope that is the direction I think the industry needs to go in. And so I'm 100% behind him. I'm pessimistic about next year.
Yeah.
Because I think that the worst example.
It's going to win. There's no doubt.
Add it to the ongoing sheet where do you think GTA?
I've never been so confident. We still need to scan through the comments to see if people have found our previous ones. But I do have the sheet. Here is the news prediction document 2025.
Oh, good. Yeah.
The Suicide Squad DLC content, I says in progress because I was searching.
Yeah.
Star Citizen, Squadron 42 or Beyond Good and Evil, that's still in process because we're one. So which one you want me to add?
Game of the Year 2025 at the Game Awards. What do you think? It's pretty much is it GTA or the field? You're betting on is it GTA or the field?
Okay, GTA or the field. GTA or the field. Well, obviously all five. I'm not putting that on the document because all three of us are GTA. You'd be dumb to pick anything else.
Yeah, I can't.
We could have a banger.
I'm just
The
going through,
secret-
and it's like, what could possibly come out? I
But
don't
the
know.
odds would be
sleeper.
like 1,000
There
to
would
1.
have
You
to be
win
a
so much
Mario
money.
or
if
a
you
Zelda or like another mainline.
The only one I could see is if somehow, Elder Scrolls, got pushed up, which is not
That's a
happening.
bad
or anything.
idea.
And it was
They
Elder
need to
Scrolls versus
they need to
GTA.
polish that. They need some time to work on that.
Yeah, they need massive polish. They probably need 2
After
additional
what happened
years.
with Starfield, it's better to keep
Yes.
it in the oven.
Yes,
Keep it.
for sure.
Standalone Elden Ring game better than GTA? Probably. I'm taking GTA over the field.
I
So,
will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're
Speaking
not
of
putting
Elden
that
Ring,
on.
that was another major announcement. Elden Ring Night Rain is coming out. This is a weird game that I had no idea. I keep tabs
Why
on
is
this.
it weird? To me, for
It's just
us on the outside, it just seems like additional DLC, right? It doesn't look weird to us.
It's like
What makes it weird? I'm
because
confused.
it's
you're
a
fighting bosses
you-
after bosses after bosses.
It's 8 predefined.
That's what the game is.
Well, no,
Yeah.
this is like all in one room, basically.
You're not
right?
creating your
that's
own
what it
character.
is?
You're not creating your own character. It's 8 predefined playable characters. And you're going, and there's like,
gauntlet.
it's like a gauntlet, and you're running through, and there's co-op added to it. It's just, it makes sense, but it's not. It's so far away from like the normal mainline experience.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
I'm very
If
excited.
it's just one room with a bunch of boss gauntlet mode
Get ready
with
to carry me, Alex.
Dark Souls and co-op, the thing that has me excited about it is co-op.
Yeah.
Real co-op, not ghost co-op or a past image of your previous
ring the
self
bell.
after image, no bell. No, an actual co-op thing. That's the part that makes me excited. And yeah, we'll play a few sessions with Alex carrying you, Joe, but I think it's funnier if you and me go up against it. We have no fucking chance, and we somehow clutch it out.
There's this really
Never tell me
easy
the
boss
odds.
called the Nameless King.
Okay,
and I
easy.
want to
Okay,
watch you
when you
two
say
fight
easy,
him. He's
when you say
so
easy.
easy. You can no hit him with a bow. You just kind of walk backwards real slowly, and so there was a bug.
That was my
advantage
thing
of
in the
this, yeah.
beginning. Like I was a magic user, but then when I got confined into a room, my magic.
I've read the comments, and magic is the easiest thing that's ever existed in Elden Ring, and just by using it, you've made the game super easy.
That's
You're also
not
not
true.
allowed to use spirit summons. You're not allowed to level up your gear, or you're not a real Dark Souls player.
But by the time I
We don't
want to
be real Dark Souls players.
halfway with my staff, I got the shit
Oh,
beat out of me.
Yeah, Malekith will like open you up if
Yeah.
So you
I was
just
like, damn it, magic's not working right now.
yeah. I mean, look, it makes some bosses really easy,
yes,
and there's some
yeah.
bosses that they're going to be tough. So.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is not bad.
You're
I was
good
like,
at
this
parrying.
is-
Play the parry characters. You can be fine. You've
Yeah,
been training.
right. Yeah, right.
Okay, you're not good at parrying, but I've seen you do it, so you should just practice. All right, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was also announced, so that's another Koei Tecmo. Slay the Spire 2, major announcement for anyone who's like big into the card games. Massive success the first time around. Early access in 2025, so it's right around the corner. Dave the Diver in the Jungle
In the
didn't
jungle.
really get to see
No.
what that's going to be. I don't
No
know.
gameplay from it, but we're excited.
Yeah, I'm just curious how. I think it's people are going to respond less positive. It's when you're spearfishing things, people have a different opinion when you're spearfishing versus like hunting animals, and so I just don't
Oh,
know
good.
what he's.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
was
what he's
thinking,
gonna
are
do.
you going to have like a
Interesting point.
steakhouse or something? It's like, oh, this is some bison, or this is some
Yeah, I don't
other
know what it-
stuff,
but-
or
Huh.
just
It-
random animals.
Never thought
or
about
something.
that. Yeah, you're right.
But it could be.
Especially that type of game player.
Yeah.
They're more chill, they like more relaxed, but they have more opinions on those types of things.
Yeah, you're gonna go in the jungle. You're gonna shoot a jaguar to eat, and like you're like, I don't want. I feel
Snakes.
bad.
Stop fucking up the
Cobras.
jungle. What's
Yeah,
wrong with you?
yeah.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
Go back into the water, motherfucker.
Yeah, so we don't know anything about it, but it's set for late 2025 release. It's gonna compete with GTA 5 or GTA 6. So
Yeah.
6.
Did either of you get to play the Steel Hunters? Because in the Game Awards, they said, hey, Steel Hunters and beta now.
I got to download it, but I was playing
you didn't.
Path of Exile.
Path of
beat
Exile
it.
weekend.
Stupid count.
God damn,
Oh,
Joe, you beat the game already.
No, he beat
No,
the chapter
because,
1 boss.
Yeah, he was giving me some trouble.
It's
That-
early
it's a
access.
tough-
You can't even beat it, right?
It's a tough.
Oh,
It's a
I'm
tough boss.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Past
cool.
halfway for. that
Damn,
too.
I'm so jealous. I want to play Path of Exile 2 with y'all. Maybe at some point this week we could stream a session
Well,
where
Mark
we
is
just
pretty
do some
good.
co-op. Did you guys
No.
get to play it over the weekend?
just downloaded it, that's it.
I got accepted, but again, didn't have time to play.
Yep.
Because that one looks cool.
Yeah. Shadow Labyrinth. If you want to play a Pac-Man game, or you were like, it's kind of based.
So
on
that was based on the secret level, and it was a surprise. It's like we've developed a whole game based on that secret level. So the reverse. Concord developed a whole game only for it to crash and burn and get one small consolation prize. Here's a 10-minute animation in secret level, and then this one is the opposite. Here's a 10-minute animation, 15-minute animation, and guess what? Brand new game for it. Not excited, Joe.
I'm not excited. I'm thinking about the Concord right now.
You don't want that golden ball going in your back?
No.
Eat.
No. Eat or pee.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking about the Concord one for secret level. It's like, it's probably not going to be very good.
Yeah.
I don't like any of the
I'm
characters.
going to laugh if the Concord
and the
one...
cinematic already in the game, I was like, I don't like this.
I think it's going to be better than the whole fucking game. I don't think that. I think it would be funny if it was better, like that Anthem live action Anthem made by Neil Blomkamp was better than the whole fucking game.
Yeah, I think that this secret level thing for Concord is going to be really similar to their reveal, the narrative reveal.
Yes.
Because it takes so long for these things to be made.
Oh yeah, I guess y'all are right.
Hated it.
You already have
exactly.
that.
That's
in
what I
the
was thinking.
game.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's just going to be another one of those vignettes from
and I hate
vignettes. I make that wrong. I say that wrong every single time. But this is my thing now.
Yeah.
It's vignettes.
It's like Gil Galahad and all that. Gillenade. You say Gillenade.
Yes.
It's Elganon and Gillenade. Yeah. Elganon, yeah. All right.
Joseph Gillenade.
Okay. So Lhasa 2. Also, this is a
vignettes. Just to prove that I could say it.
You can't. You just won't.
I just won't.
It's just like it's fine. If you've been here long enough, you know that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
And I like to see the comments on it, so that's why I do it.
Yeah. So Lhasa 2, major RPG. If you're back into the turn-based, control your character. If you've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 a million times and you're looking for something else, this isn't one to keep your eye on. So it's a 5e based rule set. So very exciting. Witcher 4. I thought everyone was going to be super excited about this. Because it's like, I'm so excited to play Witcher, continuation. And
it's a great character to continue the story.
No, you're wrong, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't be immersed if my character is a woman.
It's a woman.
And if she's not wearing like the other thing is like, oh fine, I'll play a woman, but she needs to be bedroom ready at all times. And she was in battle armor.
Porno hot.
And
like
it's like
big
has
titties,
to be,
perfect face.
And so it's like makeup nonstop.
Yeah.
I mean, like full glam.
I really, really hate this portion of our community. Our gamer base. Like I despise that.
Yeah.
And it's brain rot, and it's old. It's just ignorance on full display, and then people take things to the extreme. They parrot points from media that they consume every day. And so everybody's looking for something to complain about within that particular gross realm, and it's spilled on over into an area that really doesn't deserve it. And if you can't fap to Siri,
they will. I promise. Give it a week. The Rule 34 is coming.
We don't
won't
want
be
you.
happy about it, Alex.
No, they will.
I'm gonna do it, but I'm not happy.
Yep.
I didn't want to play Siri
And
personally.
I wish,
I don't like the
and then,
powers thing.
so I gave my opinions is like, in the Witcher 4 angry trailer reaction to that, and all the comments super positive. All the comments are just like, yeah, I don't understand series. This is a natural extension of the story. Blah blah blah. Fuck all those people. Blah blah blah. So not a single negative comment. Still downvoted to 82%. So you have either brigading going on, and I can look at the stats. I haven't actually gone into the analytics because I could see where some of it's coming from. I just haven't bothered because I don't care. Because I know these people exist. I wish there was a way to flush them all out. I really do. We don't need you. I don't give a fuck. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But they still hate watch.
Yeah, I mean, they do.
Well, that's a big money generating area is hate watching and complaining about it. But know that we don't agree with you here. You know, those kinds of stupid ass points.
She looks fine. Also, this trailer is so early that we have no idea what the game is going to look like because this is so early. The game's not coming out next year, and it's probably not coming out at the earliest. Could be 2026, and I would bet against it. So this game's coming out in a long time, and it's like
You never know. CD Projekt Red could change the way she looks, but I don't want them to because I don't want to placate these people.
yeah.
Ever.
I don't mean that. I just mean like when people are like her bone structure is and it has.
I
this
know. Yeah.
percentage, and
Did you
it's
see
like,
the dots and the lines?
Yeah,
and people
it's like we have no idea. It's 2 years from now. It's like
But people are just trying to make money on X because all you need to do is create controversy. You could say the dumbest shit, the worst shit ever, the sexist shit ever, the racist shit ever, and you'll get tons of views, which generates tons of money. So
that sounds like a horrible place. It's like you should never go there.
Yeah, it's really bad these days.
My Twitter is a bastion of hope and positivity. You can
It's never been that
Find
though.
you at where?
You can message me directly.
Where's your
at,
Twitter?
fuckyou@clownpenis.fart.
Oh, clownpenis.fart is what you were talking about. That is a bastion. It's a paradise.
I
and
post pictures of moose.
Yes.
And
clownpenis.fart should be the next
Moose is
social
sick,
media
man.
platform.
Moose is sick right now. He's not doing well. So
Poor little guy.
yeah.
Oh, he'll be
his
better,
cold.
Joe.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a young man. He can fight through
No,
it.
he has an upper respiratory infection. He has to go on antibiotics.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. He'll be okay. Project Robot. This is from the team, the creator of Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian. They didn't really show anything.
No, not
They
much.
didn't have to show anything. All you had to do was say, "Hey, this dude's making it," and it got me excited about it because like these games are incredible. I've gone back and replayed them, and I'm just really, really excited about it. You get a giant robot head. And, I don't know what happens, but I'm gonna play it. So
From the movie there, we've seen the little teaser. It seems like the classic scaling, massive, creatures and things is still in there from Shadow of the Colossus.
Speaking of Shadow, I think what was it, that racing game? Amazing.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
great commentary there.
yeah. So you play Sonic or Shadow in a race car. Guy who does not need a race car.
So let's go slower.
If he wants to go much slower and have to obey traffic laws, I like someone was like, well, maybe Fred Flintstone's it. Maybe there's nothing underneath. And it's like, okay, that's great. Steel Hunters is Wargaming's next IP. It's a 12-person multiplayer shooter. It's part hero shooter, part battle royale, part extraction shooter. The only thing that has me worried is it's trying to do a lot of things all at the same time. Hopefully it works together. But if there's mech combat, I'm at least going to
It
give
looks
it a shot.
pretty fucking cool.
Borderlands 4, Randy Pitchford got up on stage and was very excited to show off, I'm going to use a phrase that the kids use, a very mid-trailer that inspired no excitement for me whatsoever. It could have been a DLC for Borderlands 3.
Yeah,
The hype is gone with everything
the hype
there.
is wow. It's amazing where we were and where we are now with Borderlands. And I think that he thought that, boy, this is going to turn my fortunes around.
He
Everybody's
did. He
going to
said
get
it was
excited
fucking
about
amazing
it.
or something like
Fucking
that.
amazing. Like, you
Fucking
guys should be
great.
grateful that I'm fucking bringing this here. Yeah, and it just fell flat at least for us. It fell flat. I was more interested in the game before, which was the game before, the mech game, the one you're talking, the one.
Steel Hunter?
Shit, man, that one looks cool. I'm looking at some gameplay for it now, and it does have that Hawken vibes, which I really like that game. Hawken, Titanfall, maybe a little Chrome Hounds in there, except you don't create your own mech. But I love any mech
Time
games.
to dust off that big controller thing you had.
Oh yeah, that fucking thing is sweet.
Command station.
Yeah, that was so cool.
But if you
I
get
don't
that,
think I have it anymore. I don't know
No.
where it went.
You had that at your old place.
you gotta get one of
Yeah.
OJ's, the OJ gaming chair, so you can just bolt in and set yourself up
Yep,
for a 12-hour
never
session.
leave.
And you sit there and you poop.
Then recliner.
It's the
help you
toilet
out.
chair.
I think we sold it in the garage sale, and I went, but why would I do that? Like, I would keep that. I
It
maybe
belongs
gave
in
it
a
to
museum.
Right. I think I
Yes.
gave
You made
it.
like $10 on that. There was no reason to.
Right.
Probably sell
I
it for
don't
that
know what
much.
happened. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, but Borderlands 4 came out.
Had to be for good reason, because I wouldn't get rid of that.
The trailer shows very little of your character.
Or the villains, kind of.
Yeah, nothing about them that makes me think that it's going to be interesting, and that's really what the Borderlands series is.
I think
about.
even worse. I think they did show the villains, and they're fucking completely
Generic.
nondescript, generic, boring. Those two armies fighting each other, and the leaders on each of those armies are the villains in the game. Nothing like Jack or anything like that.
Yeah, you just clone him, make a different version of him, and like you get us back to compelling bad guys.
Yeah.
They announced a new Virtua Fighter. Very excited. Now do Primal Rage.
I still want
Virtual Fighter.
but
That's
like
really cool.
updated, but still with the big ass, the polygon looking.
This dude's made out of 12
Awful
triangles.
polygons.
Yes. That's what Virtual Fighter was for me back in the day.
Yeah.
It is. You know what, Joe? It's a stupid ass suggestion, but I actually agree with it.
I want to
now,
skin.
but a smarter way to implement it is there needs to be a mode. You
Yeah.
just go in the settings, press a
Classic
button,
is
and it
like the-
changes it, and you go back and forth whenever you want. Not
Kinda like
let's
the-
develop the game where it look like Legos characters
Because
fighting
you can do
each
that with
other.
the Diablo. So.
Right? Yeah.
They also announced Project Century, which is going to be, it's like the third-person action game set in Japan in 1915.
Change the title. I like the game. Change the title.
Yeah, we hate the title on that. Hopefully, that's a working title. I guess they're trying to Project Century to make it feel it's like last century's 1917 or whatever before the war.
Because you said that, I was
Back-
like, what game is that?
and-
Oh,
Yeah.
you start describing it.
Well, they originally they showed
It
a
looks-
record player, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be Lives of P DLC. I had no idea they were going to announce it,
Yeah.
and then it was, and we didn't get an announcement.
So
Damn it.
it looks a lot more serious,
Yeah.
and I'm a little worried about that. I mean, that could be a good direction to go in for the Yakuza type series, but I still want some of the goofiness. I still want some really fun side activities, and because it's set so long ago, there's great potential for funny old-timey jokes and old-timey side activities, and that would be really
There
cool.
was a ton of fun in Like a Dragon Ishin, and so I played that all the way through, and this feels like the natural sequel to it. So it's like I want chicken racing, I want all sorts of crazy
Is
stuff.
the pirate one's not out yet. No, is it?
No.
One of the most anticipated games for us is that fucking pirate game, Yakuza.
Yeah, they're like, how should you check it out? I was like, that looks fucking cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
OJ wished something into reality.
Yes.
We finally get Turok Origins, and he's been saying for the last couple years, he's like, everyone's like, hey, what
There
game do you
needs
want
to
to
be a
remake?
Turok game.
And he's like, I want a Turok game, and then we got one. What do you think it looks like? You wanted this.
I know, but it's not what I just wanted like the old version.
Classic
updated.
Turok with no changes whatsoever and no updates for modern audiences, right? I think you're right. I mean, I think that probably would have been cooler for us in this
Yeah.
niche. But the updates don't look like they're gonna bring in new audiences. So if you're not really appealing to a wider audience, then might as well keep it niche.
Yeah, so this is Saber Interactive. They, recently did Space Marine, which is a love letter to
That's
the,
what I'm hoping for.
to
It's
that
like,
community.
It's good. They're good. So I believe in their work.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll just see how. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's good, but we'll see. Onimusha, Way of the Sword, Capcom, big surprise, and so that one's coming back, and so it's a 2026 release window for that one. You gonna beat it?
No.
No? Okay. You gonna
Prediction
try?
right now. No.
Okay.
Am I trying?
Onimusha's
Yes.
before all the Dark Souls craze.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so it's not. I don't know if they're gonna Dark Soul eyes it or stick true to what they were. I don't know.
yeah, I'm not. It doesn't look like it's gonna be one of those like some of the games nowadays. You can just hold the stick forward and hit attack a bunch of times, and you can get through the game. And I'm hoping we'll see. We'll see how the swordplay is. Mafia: The Old Country was a big one. Finally, the first gameplay trailer for Mafia.
Yeah, this is a trend. We're going back. We're going back to old school days. So the old country and in Mafia, and then Yakuza going back to the 1917. So we can revel in the old school cool.
1915.
What year is this one? It doesn't say here what year that it's set in, but
I'd imagine maybe the 30s. We're going to the old country. That's where the real mobsters. Obviously, a lot of the mafias and gangs came from outside the U.S. and then established themselves in the U.S. and we're just borrowing a lot of the tactics and setup and core from Sicily and other
1900s
places.
is all it says.
1900s, yeah. So probably they may even do, century spanning stuff. No, I think they'll keep it within a certain time frame so we can follow a few
Yeah.
characters around.
Stay.
Okami got the sequel was announced, and so that was a big deal. Kind of a really small niche game, wasn't super financially successful.
In fact, it wasn't financially successful. It was a failure.
Yeah.
But it did really well amongst gamers, amongst fans. I was on the outside looking in on that. I never played it and never, attached myself to it. But I know there are some people that are extremely excited about it. And we are definitely going to be peering in to see what all the hype is about.
And then there was a lot of mobile game announcements. A lot of them. I'm not excited about most of them.
Like what?
There was the Zenless Zone Zero.
Oh, a lot of the anime ones.
Honky
Honky Star Rail.
Yeah, and it was like, I still think it's inappropriate that you're able to call it Honky Star Rail.
Honky tonk.
Yeah, but it's like, come
You
on.
had a better name for it. Hopefully our video will go up.
Cracker or something.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I can say it. You can't say it. But it was a massive success for Jeff. I mean, so the 1 million peak viewers. Several channels broke 100,000 mark throughout the broadcast. Statler and Waldorf stole the show when the Muppets just making fun of Jeff and just poking fun at him.
Yeah, they went hard on him too.
Yeah.
So Jeff must have a great sense of humor because I'm sure he read the script beforehand and approved the script and was cool with it. Now, whether he was cool with it because he's cool with it, or whether he was cool with it because he knew that it was going to help and benefit him. Yeah.
Well, he's leaning into it, and I think he knows that it's a bloated 3-hour advertisement for mobile games, and there's some amazing reveals in there. But them poking fun, it's like, hey, play another commercial. It's like it was right on. So
worth it.
Check out our video when it goes live. We have some individual trailers that Joe has put up. But anything else you wanted to talk about?
The only thing I wanted was them to make a bigger thing for the player's choice. Instead of being like, oh, player's choice, this game.
It did seem like they kicked it aside
but
really
they should be like, hey, this is the gamer's choice to do something, like, here's an award.
I agree with you 100%. I think that it needs to be like the number 2 award.
Yeah,
I mean, like the journalists get to pick some, and it's not all of the journalists. Remember that the format is Jeff picks 60 people. And only 60 people. And those 60 people get to decide what game is game of the year. Yeah. And he probably picks people like through across like
a lot of the comments were mad about that too. Like, well, who just said journalist?
Yeah. And so it's like, I really like the fact that the gamers get to choose now. You just have to figure out a way to get them to vote where they're not just,
Oh, for sure. Well,
spam botting.